Hello there everyone, and welcome back to Napoleon Total War 3 with this Ottoman campaign. Last time around, we took Hamid over on the furthest east of our Russian front, and he moved in and took out Kutuzov. It was a hard fight, but we won and we took out 2/3 of Kutuzov's force, and he has since retreated so far east that I cannot see him anymore, I'm pretty sure. Unless there was some other general, actually, now when I think about it. We also have some trouble with the Austrian Navy. It seems that the Austrian Navy is not going to blockade the port in Greece, which they normally do. Instead, they're going to turn around Greece, and it seems they're going to go for a main port. That they're going to blockade that. So it looks like I'm gonna have to send my navy after them, even if I'm not ready for it. So we'll see how that goes. As they moved around, we got an attack over at the bridge. So we got 2,500 men roughly holding this bridge against about 3,200 Russians. Most of it is cannons. So if I can get, once they start, and they're going to come as reinforcements. So once the attack gets going, the important thing is actually that I get my cavalry over to their side of the river. So I can ride their artillery down before it actually sets up on their side of the river, because there's no way we're going to hold against all of that. So even though river battles are usually really good to just hold a choke point, we're gonna do not that. We're gonna have to charge in and get rid of all those cannons. So we'll see how that goes. Even if they get through here, I still have the second army under the command of what's he called, Ali Pasha or whatever, and I can bring him in before they get to the recruitment center that we have down below. With that said, anyways, let's jump into battle and see if we can actually complete this plan. I have made a small redoubt on my side of the river to kind of protect the troops that are still going to stay here. But what we're going to do is, of course, charge across the river as soon as possible. And for that, I've made a column of cavalry that will ride over first, and then we'll have the infantry follow. And without further ado, let's go ahead and start to do that. And the enemy's reinforcement is turning up right over there. I'm gonna bring over all of the normal infantry. We're gonna keep the militia over here. I think we actually bring the general with us as well. The infantry can deploy stakes, so we're gonna deploy some strategic stakes here and there. I'm pretty sure the more heavily armored or heavy cavalry of the enemy would crush us in an open fight, so we need to do combined arms with the infantry, and also the fact that we will be able to set spikes here and there. Sounds like the charge of some of the lancers. They do have one of those unicorn batteries. Got quite a lot of cavalry, so they've got what? 5 units of cavalry. Now the cannons are starting to come in. And that is really what we want to go after. So I'm gonna send, haphazardly, just send all of my cavalry over there. Like a madman. I am going to bring my general as well. Let's see if we can get 2 line infantry in front, 2 in the back. Okay, here's the general. Right, let's charge in on the artillery train. Is it their general going after my general? Is he trying to just force us to stay away? I do have that last unit. I can ride in and take him out. If it weren't for the fact that they're too split out. But he quite quickly... no, I think he maybe rallied himself. I'm not sure what's going on. There he goes. He's dead. My Delhi riders are taking out most of the cavalry or most of the enemy cannons. We don't need all of them there. My infantry is coming under attack when they're not prepared. And I'll have to send the riders down, and I'll send the general down to support this area. There's so many units, the frames just completely tanked. I'm gonna tell my men to hold fire, at least in the back ranks. Oh, they're just trying to go completely through that one unit. Trying to rally here. It's kind of hard to get close to that just because the frames would go absolutely to shit. But you can kind of see what's going on with their lances just pummeling everything.
Our men are running, sir.
So one line infantry unit was crushed. However, 3 remain. Obligeni, and musketeers, and then 3 cavalry units. I want to keep up the momentum and make sure that those guys, that cavalry doesn't come back. All of our riders going straight into the Obligeni, but then they're getting attacked from the side and kind of around back by those lancers. However, we're gonna in turn come in from the back against those lancers. Up here, it now started to turn up infantry, so the cavalry is no longer really suitable over there. General is here to support the cavalry. The Obligeni is breaking those lancers, so now it's actually another unit of cavalry that's breaking.
Our men are running, sir.
Cavalry is starting to break over there. Can I kinda... Damn it. It might be time actually to try and pull back across the river at this point. Oh shit, that's dragoons, lancers. If the infantry would please, I would see them fire upon the enemy before they get completely overrun. The thing is, our troops are riding through, causing confusion among the lines. This one is opening fire. This one is not. Most of the Delhi troops are falling back. And they're quite damaged at this point. Right, that unit just fell. Maybe don't want to lose the general. Have him fall back. The infantry is falling back. Okay, we're falling back across the river. These guys need to get up. The only point to really stop the enemy would be at the river crossing. They charged through all those defenses. Oh, they were stopped. They were stopped by that. Which gives us just that little time maybe to have them retreat across the river. They're going in the right direction though. All my troops are getting run down by the Russians charging across us. We got rid of most of the cannons. Unfortunately, somehow, their 2 unicorn batteries managed to survive. What do I have to stop them here? I have my 2 bloody armed citizenry units, kinda. Enemy general was killed, that's great. So both the enemy's generals were dead. Fire at will. Yeah, we're gonna shoot our own men. I don't know if we can rally these 2 units. Would be nice if we could get at least one, the bigger one of them, to come back. The general tries to rally. Yeah, it's probably not gonna happen. It's better than to open fire and just shoot everyone. We'll fall back on either side. And have the cavalry come in. Gonna kill loads of our own men here, but... Desperate times call for desperate measures. I need to stop the enemy. And this is kinda the only way. Oh, the Russians have formed a square. Don't want you to go anywhere. The Delhi cavalry is retreating. God, just stop and fire, damn you! Okay, all the cavalry was gone. And now the armed populace is barely gonna stay, are they?
Our men are running, sir.
Okay, now the infantry on that side is running. I have 1 infantry unit rallying though. All the way back here. The general will make it his last stand all the way back here. Together with this troop. If we're lucky, some of the other unit might rally. Okay, if you could please just fire already. No, we need to wait for
All hope is lost, sir. This battle is almost done.
Hamid to get in line. So we get into melee with Russian dragoons instead. God. You're awful. I'm gonna leave you to die. Like the stupid dogs you are. And the Russians carry the day and they get across the river. But we did punish them. We did punish them for that. We lost the fight, so we were unable to stop them. The casualties are similar on both sides. The enemy lost 1400 men, we lost 1500. The enemy have 1800 men remaining, while we have 900 each. All the units survive, and they will be able to retreat from here. Cavalry was the one that killed the most. General's bodyguard managed to kill 1. Some of the infantry all did really poorly, except the one they got 95. But then again, only 14 of them remain. We'll see where we retreat. The Russians don't actually cross. I mean, they don't actually push their advantage over there. Right, so the Russians, we beat them enough that they decided not to actually cross the river and continue their attack. You can see that not all batteries were completely destroyed according to this. 4 of them managed to survive. But the main thing is that overall I'd call it a victory because all our troops, all our units remain intact, even though some of them have lost tons of men. The enemy actually lost cannons and they were unable to force their way across the river. I'm not going to place them up on the river again with these damaged numbers. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to probably switch positions where we have Mehmed Ali moving over to the bridge. He would push an attack if he had the movement points to do so, but he doesn't. So we're gonna switch there. I wonder where this guy's going. Was that the one coming down here? I don't think so. This is the guy that was over there. Rather than assassin that guy, which seems to only be interesting in attacking the Ooh, 70% to kill that guy. That's like a... I mean... Right, he was detected. Also... Did we detect someone? Farmland in Croatia, port in Croatia, and traditional university. We do have an advantage. We can push the advantage here, so... I'm gonna go in, and this is an auto-resolve. 300 men lost, 2,000 of the enemy. The place taken. We're probably not gonna be able to hold it. So we're gonna loot these Christian dogs. 19,000 gold. 19,000, ladies and gentlemen. And then we're gonna move away from there and focus our force over there. It's a shame you weren't actually able to murder him. That would have worked plenty in our favor. Then it's what I said about the Austrian Navy. The Austrian Navy is going in to blockade our main port. I wish I had more intelligence on what their fleet looked like. Oh, I cannot even reach this time around. With all this money, I think we need to assume kind of the worst, possibly. Okay, so I can only have one more of those. Oh yeah, because I removed my ability to build proper ships. Thing is, this... I'm not using this port. This one could be switched out. Now I'm building it up, but it could definitely be switched out to build some bigger ships. Right, we're just building everything we can. While we can. Barracks. Main capital. Needs a lot of buildings. Just spent almost all the money immediately. That's unnecessary, actually. This is a great point. So here needs to be built up. This one is now kind of under threat, maybe being attacked, so that we're not going to build that one up. Prussians have turned up on our doorstep, which... what is our relationship with Prussia? Indifferent. They're at war with our enemies. Do you have oh, you have lots of technology. Poverty control law? How about that? And so we are done! Oh, they actually accepted. I didn't think they were gonna accept. Poverty control law will help me a lot, actually. Do we have anything else? Mass mobilization. Abolish slavery. I mean, I don't think the Spanish... Yeah, the Spanish are not gonna agree to anything. The mass mobilization and poverty control. What would I want to do? What would I want to get from these? Logistics. Grand battery. Modern rifles would unlock a new unit. And I guess I can sweeten it with money, but I doubt they want to give me stuff like that to... I could build road there. I could build the plated road. I think what we'll do, since we need money, we'll build up the provinces that are safe and we know are not going to fall into enemy hands. So we build up that cash. So I spent all that money on building up stuff, but hopefully it will be worth it. I'm pretty sure it will be. And looking at the time, we're going to end it right here. Hopefully I'll be able to attack and sink these bastards. And hopefully we'll be able to take out the enemy, the Russians up here, and actually start pushing towards like some actual points of the Russians. With that said, we're gonna end it right here, so hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye.